Welcome back. Today, I am going to present you an action drama called Top Gun. Please note, this is about the 1986 movie. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. When radar contact is made with a MiG fighter, the aircraft carrier US Enterprise is on patrol close to the Persian Gulf. The F-14 Tomcat interceptor planes, each of which is manned by a pilot and a radar intercept officer, are being met by the Combat Air Patrol of the Enterprise. Flight Lieutenant Peter Maverick Mitchell, whose call sign is appropriate given his haughty, rule-bending demeanor, is the pilot of the leading aircraft. Lieutenant Nicholas Goose Bradshaw is his RIO. Bill Cougar Cortell is the pilot of the second F-14, and Sam Merlin Wells is the RIO. The second MiG, which is hidden from radar by riding close to its leader, surprises the two F-14s as they separate. While Maverick locks his missile radar on MiG-2, who then disengages, Cougar is outmaneuvered by MiG-1. MiG-1 remains on Cougar until Maverick flips over, closes in on the MiG, and makes a lewd gesture to the enemy pilot before chasing it off. The MiG disengages and the two Tomcats fly to the Enterprise. However, Cougar is so shaken up that he is unable to land, causing Maverick to abort his own landing against instructions because he is running low on fuel. When Cougar recognizes Tom Stinger Jordan, the commander of the Enterprise, he turns in his wings since the encounter has left him shaken, and he no longer feels capable of flying in war. Because Stinger must send a Tomcat tandem for additional combat training at the Navy's Fighter Weapons School in Miramar, close to San Diego, California, and the captain is obviously disgusted that Maverick is the only qualified candidate for the assignment. Stinger is forced to change his intended disciplinary action against Maverick. However, Lieutenant Tom Iceman Kazansky, a fellow Tomcat pilot, and his RIO, Ron Slider-Kerner, begin a rivalry as soon as Maverick arrives, since he sees the assignment as a chance for development. The evening after their first day at the school, Maverick spots Charlotte Blackwood at a bar. He follows her into the ladies' room and sings to her while there. It doesn't seem to work until the following day when Charlie, a previously unidentified DoD aviation instructor, who Maverick had believed was male, shows up at the school. Despite being a civilian in theory, she is an expert in the flight simulator and has defeated several real pilots. Even before the real tournament starts, she starts to fall in love with Maverick. In his first exercise, Maverick faces off against the school's resident enemy pilot, LTC Richard Jester Heatherly, and succeeds in outmaneuvering and shooting him down. However, in doing so, he violates the hard deck by flying below the required minimum engagement altitude, and then adds insult to injury by overflying a flight tower at an absurdly low goose, and Maverick watch as the tower's commander yells at Jester and their commanding officer, Commander Michael Viper Mekov. Maverick rejects Iceman's criticism of him for having an unsafe attitude, even after Jester summons him to his office and threatens to remove him if he keeps acting in this manner. However, Mekov is familiar with Maverick because Maverick's father served with him in Vietnam off the US Oriskany and was assassinated after engaging the enemy in neutral skies. Maverick and Iceman resume their duel. In a subsequent practice, Maverick and fellow F-14 pilot Hollywood are opposed by Viper and Jester. By leaving his wingman behind to pursue Viper, Maverick violates a fundamental principle. As a result, Hollywood is shot down, and Maverick suffers the same fate. The worst is yet to come, though, as Maverick is paired with Iceman. Determined to win the school competition, Maverick yells at Iceman for taking too long to attack an enemy craft. Maverick fires, but as the two aircraft approach, the backwash from Iceman's thrusters cripple Maverick's engines, sending the F-14 hurtling toward the water. Goose only just manages to pull open the fighter's emergency ejection handles. However, when the fighter's canopy opens, the two pilots eject and Goose falls into it, killing him. Although an investigation finds Maverick to be innocent of any wrongdoing, he is heartbroken by Goose's passing, and his trust is gone. Despite this, he passes the class and is transferred to the Enterprise, where an encounter with hostile MiGs sparks a crucial conflict involving Iceman and Maverick. When Iceman and Hollywood are sent after a pair of MiGs, 4 more enemy jets jump them. When Maverick is launched, now with Merlin as his RIO, Hollywood is shot down and Iceman is helplessly encircled. Despite being delayed by broken catapults on the flight deck, Maverick eventually makes it to the battleground. However, he finds himself surrounded by foes, and when he flies into one ship's jet wash, his own fighter briefly loses control. Though he quickly regains control, he then remembers Goose's death and breaks off, trapping Iceman, who has long questioned Maverick's bravery after Goose's death. As Merlin frantically after getting himself together, Maverick rejoins Iceman, and together they destroy 4 MiGs, forcing the remaining squadron to flee. Thus, Maverick and Iceman end up being close friends. Maverick is given the option of accepting any assignment as payment for his bravery. He decides to work as a Top Gun instructor. He throws Goose's dog tags into the water to express his acceptance of his friend's passing. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to watch more videos like this. Give a thumbs up. It really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.